Hello, good day. My name is Jacob. Today's practice is about hamstrings and hips, which will also target and affect the low back. For our practice today, we will be using a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can pause the video and go get one. Good alternates to straps are ties, belts, or even a rope. Make sure you're not using something that's rubbery and stretchy though. All right, so we're gonna start today in a cross-legged position. And you can wiggle back and forth just to connect your hips a little bit more, and then closing your eyes. Let's take a moment to feel the body, to be aware of our surroundings, and come into a nice deep breath, breathing into both belly and lungs. Allow the breath to be as deep as you can go with it. It has some effort, but not forceful. Bringing the hands to a prayer position. I invite you to a gratitude practice today. So finding something you're thankful for. It could be small. And once you've found that thing you're grateful for, slowly open the eyes. We'll place the hands to our knees and doing some rotations or circles with the torso. Still breathing deeply. At the bottom of your exhale, we'll change directions. And coming to stillness, we'll have the left leg in front of the right. Try to avoid the feet underneath the shins. If you can, one foot in front of the other. It might help to sit on a block or something like a pillow if you need that assistance. And then walking the hands forward. Now this might not be possible for you. You could keep the hands behind you and drop the head. Or hands forward. And inhale, bringing yourself back up. We're changing sides. Bring the right leg to the front or just switch sides. Inhale, sit up tall, either hands behind you or in front. Exhale, folding forward. Remember that this is your practice. So it will look quite different on your body than it does mine. We all have different bodies, different abilities, different experiences. Breathing deeply. And inhale, bringing yourself back up. We'll extend the legs forward. Droop. And then we're bending our right knee. If you're dealing with sacral issues, keep the foot more towards the knee. Otherwise, foot close to the pubic bone. I'm going to stay with the variation of foot close to knee. Inhale, sit up tall. And exhale, walking forward. Here again, it may help to have the hands behind you or sit on something to raise the hips. You could use the strap here as well, but let's see if we can do it without a prop. That extended leg is engaged, so I'm pushing through the heel, pulling the toes back. And breathing. Inhale, bringing yourself back up. We're placing the forearm to the inside of the leg or on the shin if that's easier. Right hand to your hip and roll the right shoulder back. 4 breaths here. Inhale, bringing yourself back up. You're placing hands to either side of the bent knee. It's probably not that easy to see on this angle. Either side to the bent knee, and then I'm reaching my forehead towards the knee. Be careful that this bum cheek doesn't lift. So both bums stay on the ground, bum cheeks stay on the ground. It's not this. Keep the hips down. Some might be able to touch the forehead to knee. Most of us, that is not going to happen. And inhale, you're bringing yourself back up, extending both legs. And we're changing sides, bending the left knee. Left foot can either come to the inside of the knee or right to the pubic bone. Inhale, we're sitting up tall. And exhale, folding forward. This front foot's engaged. Push the heel, pull the toes back, release the head. With our inhale, we're bringing ourselves back up, placing the right forearm to the inside of the calf or on the shin. I'll show that variation this time. Hands to your hips, roll the shoulder back. Let's see if we can look up to the sky. Breathe. Now, when we're dealing with low back in general, the breath is to the lungs and we're keeping the belly somewhat still. Although if belly breath is easier for you, could belly breathe. And inhale, bringing ourselves back up, turning towards the bent knee, hands to either side of the knee. Keep your bum on the ground. And then exhale, reach your forehead towards the knee, rounding the spine. Two more breaths here. And inhale, bring yourself back up. It's mosquito season. Exhale, extending your legs. Let's come back to our first side. So I'm bending my right knee, either foot to the inside of the knee or towards the pubic bone if that's safe for the low back. Another possibility here is placing a block underneath the knee if you need something supported underneath the bent knee. We're placing the left hand to the inside of the thigh, right hand to your hip. Inhale, roll the shoulder back. With the next inhale, place the right hand to the back of the head, roll the elbow back, chest to the sky. Inhale, extend your right arm up to the sky, and then exhale, reach the right hand over towards the outstretched leg. The gaze is upwards, but if that's too much in the neck, you can always look downwards. And with our inhale, we'll bring ourselves back up. And exhale, changing legs, extending both legs. And then we're bending the left knee. Place the left foot to either the inside of the knee or towards the pubic bone. Right hand to the inside of the calf, or as I did on the other side, on the shin itself. Right hand to your hip. Inhale, roll the hip back. Exhale, pause. Inhale, bring the left hand to the back of the head. Roll the elbow back, chest upwards. And exhale, pause. Inhale, extend that arm up to the sky. And then exhale, reach the hand over towards the extended leg. And again, this extended leg, this foot's engaged. Push through the heel, pull the toes back. Gaze to the sky, unless that's too much for the neck looking down. And with an inhale, we're bringing ourselves back up. Let's place the soles of the feet together. We're going to do two variations of this butterfly pose. Inhale, sit up tall, straight spine. Let's try to keep the spine as straight as we can. And then exhale, moving that straight spine forward. So it might not come forward very much. Again, you may need the assistance of the hands behind you to bring the chest forward. Are you rounding your spine? Don't. That's the second variation. Keep that spine straight. Inhale, bringing yourself back up. You could hold on to the feet or keep the hands behind you. Now we're rounding the spine. Exhale, release the weight of the head, bringing the head or the heart towards the feet. And inhale, bringing yourself back up. We're coming into a lunge, and let's start with our right foot forward and our left knee down to the mat. Now, if your surface is quite hard, you could fold your mat to create extra cushion or even place a pillow or blanket underneath that knee. Let's bring our hands to our hips and shift the hips back so the hips are right above the knee and this foot is right above or below this knee. We'll tuck the pelvis forward, keeping the belly pulling in. Shift the hips forward just a little bit, but avoid any sort of curving to the low back. So we're sending the tail down, lengthening the low back here. Hands could stay on the hip or extend the left arm up. Let's do 4 more breaths here. And exhale, let's bring the hands down. We'll wiggle that front foot forward and sink the hips now in front of the back knee. Pull the belly in. Inhale, hands come back to the knee. Try not to let the low back collapse. Keep drawing the low belly in. Hands could stay on the knee or extend the left arm up. Maybe extending the right arm up. Even though this is a static posture, you might feel some heat building in the body. Three more breaths. And to change sides, exhale, hands come down to the ground. We'll step the front foot back, coming into a tabletop position. You can unfold your mat. Inhale, your left arm reaches up, coming into a twist. Holding this for 4 breaths. So you should feel your belly working here. And if you're not, maybe you're throwing this hip out. Keep the hips above the knee. We're coming into a twist. Place the left shoulder and ear to the mat. Right hand can stay where it is or slide the right hand forward. Making our way back to tabletop. Inhale. And exhale, pause. Doing that on the next side. Inhale, right arm reaches up. 4 good breaths here. Exhale, right shoulder, right ear to the mat. Left hand can slide forward or stay by the head. Nice deep breaths here. And inhale, make your way back to tabletop position. Exhale, pause. We're coming to a lunge on the next side. With an exhale, you step the left foot forward. You can fold your mat as I am to protect the right knee. And then the first variation is hips right above the knee, sliding that front foot back so that foot is below the knee. Tuck the pelvis forward, lengthening the low back. If you're really engaging the abdominals and tilting the pelvis forward, you should feel a stretch to the psoas and the quads. If not, inhale, right arm reaches up. Three more breaths. And exhale, hands come down to the ground. We're wiggling the front foot forward to sink the hips down more towards the mat. Pull the belly in, inhale, hands to knees. And you could stay here. Or inhale, lift your right arm. Maybe lifting the left arm as well. Pull the low ribs in and breathing. Four more breaths. And exhale, hands come down to the ground, making our way to child's pose. So child's pose is big toes together, knees spread wide. You can unfold your mat, and then you're sitting your bum on your heels, dropping the head down to the mat. All right, making your way up to a seated position. For this one, we'll bring the right leg forward and our left leg back. So the right knee is right in front of the hip and the left knee is parallel to the hip. Bring the shins out so they're at a 90-degree angle. Lots of 90-degree angles in this posture. Also 90-degree angles with the feet. Feet are engaged, push to the heel, pull the toes back. We'll place our hands to either side of the knee and then lengthen your torso on your thigh. We're here for just about 4 breaths before we go a little bit deeper. And inhale, bring yourself back up. We'll walk our hands over towards the foot and then dropping the head towards the foot or chest towards the foot. Keep those feet active. We're here for 8 breaths. Keep the breath moving, smooth. And inhale, you're bringing yourself back up. So we're going to take this back knee, slide it forward, bring that front foot more to the inside of the knee. For this posture, either the top of the foot feels good or a foot turned out, but we're listening to the knee to see what it prefers. Some of my students say this feels better for them. For me, the top of the foot feels better. And then we're picking up the hips, tucking the pelvis forward, dropping the hips back down. And then starting to bend the arms. By no means do you have to come all the way back. If the knee starts to lift, this is an indication you've gone too far. You could come down to the forearms. You might be able to lie all the way down. I'm not going to do that. I'm not warm yet. If this is too much for the knees, another nice alternate is resting on your belly and drawing that foot in towards your bum. Yeah? Four more breaths here. Draw that left hip down, tuck the pelvis forward. This will also deepen the stretch rather than having to lay back. And inhale, bringing yourself back up. And we're changing sides. So I'm bringing the left foot forward, right foot to my side. Those 90-degree angles again, so shin and thigh are at 90-degree angles. This right knee is parallel to the knee. Push through the feet, pull the toes back, hands to either side of the left knee, and then we're laying on the left thigh. And breathe. You may notice, as I am today, that one side is tighter than the other. If that's the case, maybe spending a little bit more time on your tight side. And this is one of the luxuries of practicing from videos. You could stop and repeat or hold this posture for longer. We're coming back up to straight arms and then walking the hands over towards the foot, and exhale, releasing head and chest towards that foot. Here for 8 smooth breaths. Let's make it 3 more breaths. And inhale, bringing yourself back up. Coming into that quad stretch by sliding the right knee forward. Again, if this is too much for your knee, you could flip to your belly and draw that ankle towards your bum. Left foot comes more to the inside of the knee. We're picking up the hips, tucking the pelvis forward, and dropping the hips down. Now from this position, slowly lowering yourself down. The ambition is not to get the forearms or chest down. It's to feel the stretch. So if you're feeling the stretch here, great. If you can go further, go further. Draw the right hip down, tuck the pelvis forward. Two more breaths. And inhale, bringing yourself back up. Extending both legs. Push through the heel, pull the toes back. Let's take the flesh back from our bums to feel the sit bones connect to the ground. Inhale, arms float up, and exhale, fold forward. Again, if it's hard to come forward, hands behind you. Feet are engaged, release the head. Inhale, bringing yourself back up. We'll place the right ankle on left knee, addressing the hips again with a seated pigeon. So bending the left knee, lift the low back, lift the chest. If you're not feeling the stretch, shift the hips forward. Four breaths here. So we're going to take this lifted leg and grab the foot or the knee and then start to slide that foot out. Now if it's there for you, could place this foot in the crook of the elbow, perhaps the knee as well, And sometimes to get there, we round the spine. So if you need to back off and catch with your hands, that's fine. Lifting the low back, lifting the chest. Let's lift the foot a little higher if that's in your range of motion. And then we'll do a gentle rock with this leg, a little rock of the baby. Two more breaths. And exhale, we're releasing. Changing sides, we'll place the left ankle on right knee, and then we're bending the right leg. Sit up tall, lift the low back, lift the chest. If you're not feeling this, shift the hips forward. Stay with the sensation. Use the consciousness to observe the mind and the mind's responses to these postures. And the breath is our home, always with the breath. And we'll start to extend that right leg, grabbing the left leg either with our hands or using the crook of the elbow. Lifting the low back, lift the foot. And this could be a small motion. We'll start to rock the baby. And exhale, release. We'll take this right foot across the left knee, coming into a seated twist. Right hand comes behind you. Inhale, you're sitting up tall, and exhale, twisting, either hugging the knee or elbow to the outside of the knee. Inhale, let's start by looking behind us. And then chasing the gaze forward. And inhale, coming out of the twist. Exhale, extending both legs, twisting to the next side. One of the things that twists do is help with digestion. It just helps squeeze and move everything's in the digestive tract. Left hand behind you. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, we're twisting, either hugging the knee as I am or elbow to the outside of the knee. We started by looking behind us. 3 breaths. Last 2 breaths. Let's look forward. And exhale, release. We're coming to our backs with our strap. So lying back, knees bent. We'll place the strap on the right leg and extend the right leg to the sky. This left leg can stay bent if that feels safer for the low back, or also extending the left leg. Push through the heel, pull the toes back. Explore the depth of this hamstring. Now, if the hamstrings are tight, the leg might be forward like this, but I want you to keep the leg straight. So if you're bringing the foot close and bending the knee, you're kind of missing out on some of the stretch. Four more breaths here. We're bending the left knee if it's not bent already. Catching both ends of the strap with our right hand, draw the left knee in towards your chest, and then exhale, let the legs fall apart in opposite directions. The weight is even in the hips, and the right leg is straight, left hand is to the inside of the knee. If you're dealing with any sort of groin pull, be gentle with this one, don't push it. And inhale, leg comes back to center. Placing that left foot down on the ground, left knee stays bent, catching both hands of the hands strap with your left hand, and right hand comes to the back of the head, and we're letting the legs cross, so right leg to the left, and left leg to the right. This straight leg, which is my right leg, let's turn the toes down, heel up to the sky. Three more breaths. Inhale, you're coming back to center. Extend that left leg long, catching both ends of the strap with both hands. Take a big inhale. And then exhale, we're lifting the head towards the shin or knee. You could walk the hands further up the strap, both legs straight. And exhale, lower yourself down. Let's place both feet in the strap. Feet are roughly above the hips here. Keep the strap in the left foot, remove the right. And as we did on the other side, right leg can stay bent if that's better for the low back, or extending the right leg. Exploring the depth of a straight left leg, push through the heel, pull the toes back. Maybe you can relax the shoulders down, jaws relaxed as well. Three more breaths here. We'll catch both ends of the strap with our left hand. Right knee comes in towards our chest. Place the right hand on the knee. And then exhale, let the legs fall apart. Being careful not to shift to one side. Weight is even in the legs or in the hips. Keep the left leg straight. Right hand could shift to the inside of the knee. And inhale, let's bring the legs back together. Keeping the right knee bent, drop the right foot down, changing hands on the strap so you're catching with your right hand, and then letting the legs cross. So right knee to the left leg to the right, left hand behind the back of the head. And as we did on the other side, that straight leg, which is your left leg, turn the toes down, heel up. With your inhale, bringing the leg back to center, straightening both legs, catching both ends of the strap with both hands. Take a deep inhale, and then exhale, we're lifting the head towards the shin or knee. You can walk the hands further up, push through the heel, pull the toes back. And exhale, lower down. Let's place both feet in the strap again, feet above the hips. This is a nice one to really relieve the low back. You might need the strap for this next one, so keep it close by. We'll exhale, bend the knees and remove the strap, and then straightening the legs again. Cross the right leg over left, and then we're bending both knees and reach around and catch the ankles. You might be able to work the hands down towards the feet and catch the bottom of the feet. If this is impossible to get the ankle, you could also use the strap around the ankle like so. This is a version of reclining cow face. Drop the head back down, tuck the chin in. To deepen this, draw the knees towards your chest and raise the feet slightly to the side. 4 breaths here. Releasing the feet, inhale, extend the legs, and we're changing sides. Cross the left leg over right, bending the knees, reach around, catching the ankles, the bottom of the feet, or a strap combination. Drawing the knees towards your chest and bring the feet slightly to the side. We're breathing deeply. Again, you may notice a difference from one side to the next. And inhale, uncrossing the legs, coming into happy baby. Bring the arms to the inside of the knees, catch the feet on the outside. Here again, maybe a strap is good for you in this posture, like so. We're holding this 6 breaths. Press your low back down, tuck your chin in. Try to make the spine as long and flat as possible in this posture. And exhale, release. We're coming to the final pose. A few options. If you're close to a wall, you could do legs against the wall with your bum right against the wall as well. Or if you have a chair, knees bent with the feet on the chair, it could be a couch or bed as well. Or the traditional Shavasana, legs long, feet are just a little bit wider than the hips, hands by your side, palms facing up. If you're outside and on the grass and don't want to be bothered by ants, you could also place your hand on your belly. Tuck your chin in slightly. We're closing the eyes, giving the weight over to gravity so that the earth is supporting us. Release. The breath is soft as well. Let's start to deepen our breath, coming back to the awareness of the body. And then we'll roll to our right side, coming to fetal position on our right side. Using the hands, bring yourself up to a seated position. We'll finish our practice with 3 breaths to the heart. Bring your hands to prayer. Come to the bottom of your exhale. Together we inhale, filling the chest and heart. And exhale. Again, inhale, filling chest and heart. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found some benefit to our practice today. Namaste.